Hello and good morning everyone and welcome to Fit Tech channel. It's another vlog, another day and आज कुछ डिफरेंट है. हम सुबह सुबह उठ चुके हैं, एकदम तैयार है. नहा धो के तैयार हूँ, बस बाल वाल सही करने, थोड़ा सेट करने जो कभी होते नहीं मेरे. तो वो बस बाल वाल सही करूँगा, इनको थोड़ा सा सेट करूँगा. और आज अपना गेस्ट लेक्चर है DTU के लिए, दिल्ली टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी. सो आज अपना गेस्ट लेक्चर है. ये मतलब काफ़ी मेहनत करी है, मतलब तब जाके गेस्ट लेक्चर बनते हैं. तो यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं, तो आज उस चीज़ को कवर करने की कोशिश करेंगे जितना हो सके उतना. सो आज 1 घंटे का गेस्ट लेक्चर है पूरा. उनको मैनेजमेंट के बारे में बताना है मुझे. तो जितना भी टेक्निकल मैनेजमेंट होता है उसको थोड़ा मिक्स करके बताएंगे हम. सो वी विल ट्राई कि अच्छा हो सके, कनेक्ट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हो सके. थोड़ी मेहनत करिए, बढ़िया सी स्लाइड भी तैयार करी है. आई एम नॉट सो गुड इन स्लाइड, मनिका ने मेरी हेल्प करी, तो मैंने स्लाइड वगैरह तैयार करी हैं. आप देखते हैं कितना अच्छा रहता है, क्या रहता है. लेट्स सी. बस थोड़ी देर में है अपना लेक्चर. सो करते हैं उसके बाद कनेक्ट. सो सी यू. So thank you so much for introducing me, and definitely today what we are going to do, we are going to cover the project management, but it's a very vast topic. So definitely we are going to cover a part of it. What we are going to do, I am going to present the IT sector, how they are managing in a new world, because nowadays the world is changing so fast. So this is why we are going to present this into a little bit IT service based companies and the product based company with the management. So it's a very vast topic. We will go via one by one, and definitely if you have something, questions and anything, you can feel free to ask me anytime. No need to shy, there is no formalities and all. I know you all guys are from MBA, so I am also I am expecting some confidence and everything, right? So let me present my screen so that you can see uh, the presentation. One second. Please do let me know once you are able to see my screen. Fantastic, nice. So, as you know that my name is Ankur Dwivedi. Currently, I am working as a cloud architect slash technical lead. Why it is like that nowadays? Because nowadays the team is not like you should be perfect in one field. So we have to be perfect in every field. Like I am a cloud architect, but I should be good into the management as well. If I am a managerial person, then I should be good into the technical person as well. So that is why I am working as a cloud architect, as a technical lead. Currently, I am working as a data engineer as well, which is also a different part. We are not going so deep in that. If you want to connect me on the LinkedIn, you can connect me via this link. Ankur Dwivedi, I am available over there. On Facebook, I am available. If you want to connect me over the mails, I am available on both the domains Gmail and Yahoo. Ankur@gmail.com and ankur.dwivedi2000@yahoo.com. Feel free to connect me anytime. So, first of all, for what we are here? Yes, we are here for the project management. Somebody, feel free. Tell me what is project management one by one. If anyone wants to, according to you guys, what is project management? Correct, Divik. Nice. Anyone else? Nice. I am expecting more. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Nice. More guys, more. A little bit more. Anyone? Okay. Fantastic. Nice, Jeff. Oh, nice. This is also nice. So yeah, you guys are too close, and definitely these all are the key points of the foundation of any project management. So what I am going to cover today is that what is project management. Definitely project management is here from not from today, but so why we need it, and for the project management why we need a team, why we need a lead in project, because we already have a manager, why we need a lead, how to become a successful team lead, agile, the current world, how it works, and why it is different from the waterfall, and in the end we will do the our favorite part, Q&A. So let's jump on that. So now, according to me and my experience, and in terms of IT sector, I'm not talking about the manufacturing sector or something. In terms of IT sector, we need a project management. Why? Because first of all, for the technical guidance. So when it is coming on the technical guidance, I know that we are here around 100 of people here, but it's not necessary everyone is a technically good person, but definitely if you are a manager for a technical team or IT team, they always expecting from you some technical guidance from your side, so that if they stuck somewhere or if they are not able to deliver the things, so you are the only person where they are looking for, and you can what I can say, you can guide them and ensure them that I am here for you only. For that also I will tell you how to be a technical guider. So second part is risk and requirements. So thing is that if you are a little bit good into the technical terms, so you can guide them as well as you can gather the requirements from the user or clients. See, whatever the service based company or the product based company, they all are working till the time we have the projects, and projects are coming from the requirements only. If you want to gather the requirements, so definitely you have to be good in terms of requirement gathering, and you have to be good in terms of risk analysis. I hope you all are aware about the risk analysis. Risk analysis is nothing. See, there is no calculative risk in this world according to me. Many guys are saying that I have taken the calculated risk amount or something. No, there is, if risk is a word, then there is no calculation, because risk is risk. So it might be a positive risk or negative risk, it all depends in the end of the result, but the risk is risk. So you have to calculate the risk, you have to check the risk, how much risk we are going to take as per the requirements. Okay. Third part is coaching. See, nowadays you guys are going to join us industry very soon. So you are good in MBA. I know that. You are into the one of the best university. I know that. But definitely, once you are into the industry, then you need some coaching, or I can say mentorship, so that you can understand how industry is working, how CMM level companies are working, what is the process, what is the procedure they are working, how their security is working, how their sales is working, marketing is working. Because you guys can understand the theoretical part, but when it comes on to the practical part, it's a little bit different. Definitely book is the foundation of anything, you have to go through with it, otherwise you can't what I can say, you can't make your base or foundation. But when it comes on to the practical environment, you once many times you have to go beyond the book, or sometimes under the book. So it all depends. Last part is communication. Even though if you are 10 plus experience, or the 20 plus experience, or the 30 plus experience, even if you are CEO of the company, but you have to be a, you have to understand the team and team members from zero to higher level, so that you should always have a communication with all of them, not in terms of technicality, even though you should be presentable in terms of, if they are stuck with some emotional support, if they know they want some emotional support or the mental support, anything they want, you should be the first person always whom they can connect. Then only a project manager become project manager. So uh, this is the these are the four things which are the major things. Definitely there are so many other things, but these are the four pillar of the project management. So this is how the project management is working over here. Okay, now my question is coming, what else we require? Somebody please tell me what else we require. Somebody. We already have 4 pillars. Is there anyone who can tell me what else we require? We have 4 pillars. Like you are good in technical guidance, you are good in risk and requirement, you are good in coaching, you are good in communication. What else we require? Pillars are here. Foundation is ready. We already MBA degree guys. So foundation is ready, pillars are ready. What else we require? Okay. Nice, Shivam. Anywhere else? We have 100 of people. Come on guys. I hope breakfast is done. Or do we need to arrange something? Come on, I am just a human. Tell me. Come on. Anyone. Or I have to pick someone. Okay, you tell me, Mac. What else we require? Okay. No answer, I think. Okay. So we need a team. You have the 4 pillar, you have the MBA degree, you have everything, but you don't have a team, buddy. So you need a great team. A team who can coordinate with each other without any ego problem or something. They can work together and with a good leader, so that they can follow and they can understand what they can do in their life. So a leader can tell them, okay. So because he knows what you don't know, he or she knows that. So you need a good team always. So 4 pillars: a degree and a team, become a project manager. But now question is coming. There so many startup companies are going on nowadays. They will definitely say why we need a team. We can easily cost cut. If in your team 5 people are working with the 8 lakh, it means 8 5s are 40 lakh. But I will hire one person on 25 lakh, so I can cut easily 15 lakh annually. So why we need a team? We can work with a one person and everything is awesome in that term also. So why we need a team? So definitely because a one person will look like this. Okay, it means he will be a manager, he will be a business analytics, he will be a developer, he will be a tester, he will be a quality check control guy. So definitely he is not a well functioned guy, and definitely there are so many probabilities of an error, and definitely your project will be in a big problem, and definitely one day you will lose the client, and once you lose the client you will be into the downside. Your share market, IPO, everything will go down, your ratings will go down, your feedback will go down, and once you will face that, it's very hard to maintain them. So this is why we need a team where everyone can work together and deliver something which is appropriate in terms of clients, and they can share the responsibility, roles, goals, everything, and they can deliver a good product to the user or client. This is why we need a team. So we have a team, we have everything, we know that there is a 4 pillar, we have a good team, we know that there is a degree which also we have certain experience as well. But there are some tips to be there to become a good technical lead or manager. See, in terms of MNCs, this is only bookish language of lead and manager. Anyhow, they both are working together parallel, otherwise they can't work. So sometimes you have to be a lead, sometimes you have to be manager, you have to manage both the things in a parallel way. So this is how it works. So first point, a very first point. See, either you are successful in your project or a failure. It all depends on your decisions, right? You have to take some decision in your life when you are trying to implement some ideas in any project. You have some idea, you just go through with the idea. You can represent your idea in terms of client, you can represent your idea in front of your higher management. But guys, trust me, you have to take some decision for it. It can be, it's possible the decision can be a successful decision or a failed decision, but always being a lead, you should walk through, means you have to be with your team in their failure, and you have to give some credit or give something to your team when they are successful. So you are like a shield over the team. They always look forward that they always, you are like a guardian for them in your sector. Okay, so whenever they are in trouble, they will definitely uh, looking for you. Okay, so if they are failure, you should always be a positive person and the first person whom they can connect, and they will always ask you why I am failed, what failed in that. So you just be positive in that. I just want to know one thing. Is there any person who took risk, who and took some decision in this whole classroom right now? Is there anyone who took decision and got failed, but still he or she is happy that no issue, because I learned something from failure, because failure is a great teacher. Is there anyone? Feel free. Tell me one scenario. You have to be connected with me, otherwise it will be a boring session for me and for you. So you can say that you are proud of it because you are taking some decisions, right? Nice. So definitely you should be always proud of it because you are taking some decision in your life. Because if you are good in ideas and everything, trust me, guys, you are good for nothing. Because ideas are ideas only. If you are not taking decision to implement the ideas, then it will be like so. It's not. You have to take some decision to implement the idea. Now, this is a very important part. I know that everyone wants to celebrate the success, but sometimes we missed it. So, what we have to do, once your developer or your team is successful to do something, you should be the first person as a manager or as a lead who is going to enjoy or celebrate it. Enjoy and celebration you can do by give them some appreciations. You can go in their cubicle and appreciate in front of everyone. You can give them some certifications or certificate. You, even though if your company is allowing them some monetary gifts and all, you can give them. It can boost them to work. Otherwise uh, they are not, means one time they will be morally down. So you have to be prepared for the celebration. Always you should be always into the celebration mode. So you should celebrate the success of their team and always give them credit. Don't try to take the credit from them, because if your team is growing, you will also grow. Now, it's a what I can say, it's a human nature when they are growing, and once they will become project manager, then senior project manager, then after that AGM, assistant general manager, then GM. Slow and steady, one part is coming, which is ego. But I think we can avoid it. And if you are able to avoid it, then trust me, I saw so many person. Biggest example is Ratan Tata ji. Ratan Tata ji is still a approachable person. So I he's a means what he is, everyone knows him, but he is a very calm, relaxed and down to earth personality. So you should be like this also, always be approachable. So first, very first point of that is that always wear a smile. So even though if you are tense in terms of your personal life, don't mix this with your professional life. You already read it about that. Don't mix both the life. So if you are tensed or you are not, always wear your, what I can say, best ornament, which is smile. Always you have to be sincere when other one is talking. Means you have to be a good listener, because might be they want to share something which is very important, but if you are not a good listener, they are not going to share with you, because they will feel shy and they are not going to share with you. So you have to be a very good listener. Your body language should be always relaxed, calm. It's not like that you are uh, if you are a project manager, then your body language should not be. And there is a two kind of attitude actually. Let me tell you, there is a negative and positive attitude. So negative attitude means I am a project manager. This is a negative attitude. Positive, I am a project manager, man. What to do? I have a team. This is I have a team. This is and they are doing good. That is why I am a project manager. If they are not going to, if they are not going to do anything, definitely I will got demoted, or I will be out of the project. So two kind of attitude. So your body language always open, and always it will be like that you are doing a warm welcome for each and everyone. Okay. See how you are talking with a one person. It always reflects others. If I am talking someone very nicely, definitely other one will also feel what I can say comfortable to talk to me. Otherwise, if I am rude or if I am an egoistic person, definitely nobody is going to take care of my what I am saying or what I am not saying. Okay, so definitely uh, I have to be very careful about this, and I definitely have to be a gentleman. Always into the energy mode, right? So because if you are energetic, so you can you hear are you heard about one term Monday blues? So you know one thing is Monday and Friday nobody wants to work. But if you are in a good mood and you are saying, say, come on team, you have to work on that, we have to do this, we have to deliver it. And if you are going to deliver it, there is a Friday night party for each and everyone. So you are into the good energy. So it always reflects the team and they are always ready to deliver something to you. And even though before that sometimes they will give you some surprises, and I like that surprise. Always meet the person like we are connecting with each other for the first time, but it should not be seems like a first time, because uh, if you are taking the name, and trust me, if you are calling someone by name like Abhishek, Ankit, Ankita, Kavita, Mehak, whatever, so always take the name. And trust me, in industry it works. That is why there is no culture of sir and madam in industry, so that we can connect with each other in a frequent way. And it, it works, always it works when you are taking the name, and if you treat them very well, so it always works. If I'm talking with Shivam and if I'm saying, Shivam, buddy, I want that, so trust me, you try it, it always works. I know this slide is going to be a little bit problematic, or I can say so many questions will come in your mind when it comes to stay technical. What is stay technical? See, if a person is from the BTech or BE background or BCA, MCA, and then they are coming into the MBA, I know that they know something about the coding. But somebody is from the commerce background or arts background, they completed their BCom successfully, and then they are into the MBA. Now they become a manager. Then how somebody can expecting that they are good in technical terms? I know that it's not possible, but how they can become a little bit technical person so that they can help the team and they can understand what's going on in your project. There is a first point is that whenever the technical interview is going on in your team, you always have to be present in that interview so that you can understand what question and answer are going on, and you can understand where the market is going on right now. Second, you should be a part of documentation. So even though if it is a architect design diagram, solution diagrams, or other documentation, requirement gathering documentation, delivery documentations, so testing documents, you should be a reviewer, one of the reviewer. You can make 3 reviewers over there, and you can mark yourself as a one reviewer. So you just review and go through with all that documents so that you can understand what my project is doing right now. Second part, you have to be part of logs, reporting and analytics. What is logs? Logs is nothing. When you are searching something on LinkedIn or Facebook, there is a search history is coming, which is a logs for that. Okay. Nowadays we all are smart enough, right? We are using social networking. It's a technical thing. We are using Google Meet to connect. It's a technical thing. We are using smartphone, iPhone, Android, OnePlus. Again, technical thing. We are using smart TV. Again, technical thing. PlayStation, technical thing. If we are using everything which is technical and based on the coding, even we are using Arogya Setu to check our certificates and all the things. So definitely, if we are using everything which is delivered by the coder, so definitely we have to be a little bit. We have to understand something about the coding. Then only we can make a friendship or handshake with them, right? So logging, reporting, and analytics. What is this? So we should understand how the logs are generated for that. Secondly, we should prepare a report, business analytics reports, so that we can understand what user wants from us and how we have to deliver it. Okay, so once you are able to generate a business analytics report, so you can understand easily how the data is coming into the this segment, how the data is coming in Facebook, and how Facebook is showing you your data. Like for an example, if Ankita is logging in, so how Ankita is able to see the Facebook data, so how it works. Okay, you should be the part of minor page work and documentation update. For an example, you can update the document that what requirement you gather, so you can understand, okay, where I have to put it and how the documentation is working. Automation tools. See, now in current world, automation tools are playing the biggest part. Okay. For example, even though if you want to launch some complaint in banking, so one chatbot is coming and you are talking with a robot or chatbot, right? So these all are the part of automation tool, and future is automation tools only. So you should be a part of that ideas. What ideas are going on in your team for the automation tools and how they are implementing it. So you should be a part of it always. You should be the part of that code reviews so that you can. I know that for the first time you are not able to understand what code is written here, what they want to do this. But once you connect this code review with your documentation part, you can understand. Okay, this is the result we want, and this is why they are making this code. And other part is internal tools. Like for an example, in your university, you are using so many internal tools. Especially you are using your website, but you are never worried about that how they build it and how they are managing it. But one day, if you want to manage the team of your website team, who is a website developer team, then how you will do it? First of all, you should be aware about what tools they are using, how they are working on it, and what is the basic code or foundation they did. For all of the point, the key factor is knowledge transfer. Whenever a person is going to join your team or something, you have to process some knowledge KT sessions for them. So senior is going to give some KT session to fresher, right? You should be presentable over there. I know that being a manager, you will be so occupied in your client meetings, in your other meetings as well. But try your best to be presentable into the KT sessions so that you can understand what kind of code we are using and why we are using it. Next part is be realistic. See, you are already a technical person, you are already an approachable person. Once you are a technical person, then definitely you can be a realistic manager, because you know that what goal we have to achieve and how to maintain the timelines for it, what cost we have to take, how many team members are required to achieve it. So this is known as SMART goals. SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time limited. Okay, when we are talking about the specific means you will be specific in terms of what we want to achieve. Measurable means how much timeline we need and how much costing we need for it. Achievable, sometimes the goal, sometimes the requirement user is saying it's not a logical thing and it's not possible. So then we can easily understand what we can achieve or what we cannot. Relevant, if it is a relevant to our team or not, not only you can understand. And time limit, what duration of time we require it for achieve the smart goals and for achieving and be realistic, what I can say, goal, you have to maintain an active conversation. For this, nowadays we are following the scrum meetings, daily stand-up meetings. Some of the guys of also can call them SOS meetings. So these all are required to be a realistic person. This is always very important in terms of management. See, I don't know you will be a good manager or not. You will be a good technical lead or not. I don't know. But one thing you should be always, you should be a good mentor. Because a good mentor can be a good manager, a good lead, as well as good buddy, works and always works in a team. See, in terms of cricket also, we know Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He's a good captain. He's a good. He always good maintain a good brotherhood. But why we know him? Because he is a very good mentor, and this is why he is one of the legendary players. Saurav Ganguly, also a good mentor. Rahul Dravid, so Sachin Tendulkar, all of them are a good mentor. Okay, so a good mentor always have some good, what I can say, one of the best qualities. One is advice, help, support, tips, assistance, and guidance. Advice means not in terms of professional, but he should be always helpful, be, what I can say, be ready to support and give the advice in terms of even they are personally not able to achieve something, and they if they want to connect with you, you should be, you can play a mentor role in their life as well, right? Into the, what I can say, emotional connect. Nowadays, in what I can say, when COVID hit the market, so many leads play a very good role in terms of mentorship. They help juniors in terms of teammates or juniors in terms of their emotional family problems. Even though are they are always available in terms of financial also. So it's not like that you are just a professional, you are presentable into the professional world, but even though you should be part of their family as well. So always be ready to assist them and guide them. Surround yourself with other leads. See, I'm not saying that you should surround yourself with a trade fair or something. But why I'm saying that you should surround yourself with other leads, because, for example, your team is working on Amazon Cloud and you got a one project, Google Cloud. So when client is saying something about Google Cloud, definitely your team is working on Amazon Cloud and you are good in Amazon Cloud. So you will be shocked what how Google Cloud is working, what I have to do now, and you are not able to crack that deal, right? But if you are surrounded with other leads and if you are the part of conversation with them, and in case one of the lead is working on the Google Cloud, so during the conversation, definitely one day, uh, one fine day, he will or she will definitely share the Google Cloud with you. So you have some idea about that. So once user or client will say, business user or client will say, okay, we want something on Google Cloud. So you can also tell them how Google Cloud can work and how we can achieve something from it and how we can make an environment from it. So definitely you can crack the deal. And if it is a deal, once a deal is cracked, it's cracked. So that is why you have to surround yourself with other leads. Okay, if we are coming on the KT sessions, knowledge transfer sessions, it's a key things because I don't believe into the one man army. I always believe in that if you want to win a war, or you want to win, or you want to crack a project, or you want to deliver something, you need a team, a very good team where all are on the same platform. So if you want to be on the same platform, what you have to do? You have to be you have to make a very strong knowledge transfer sessions. What it will do, it will accelerate the knowledge transfer inside your team, not only on your team, even though sometimes out of the team, which is known as cross KT, cross knowledge transfer. It will rapidly increase the knowledge of your team, which is very good for you. It will always what I can say, remove the time space trade off. Time space trade off is a constant which is applicable when we are communicating with each other. For example, if we are talking about something, what I can say, if we are talking about something and somebody is not aware about it, so definitely there is a communication gap between us. So we have to remove this constraint. Okay, after that we can do something customized solution. We deliver the customized solution to the customer to this with the help of knowledge transfer. This part you already know that you are doing so much group discussion and brainstorming. I think you are doing it from last couple of months and you are very good in that. So it always generates the ideas, it always improves the existing idea, and it will always work into solving the problem, even though it can improve your solution process. And definitely if you are connected with each other, it will generate a respect for each other environment, and once it will generate it, you no need to worry about it. Okay, so now we are coming on the agile part. Initial, when I started my career, we worked into the waterfall model, but nowadays the thing is new into the market, which is known as agile. Agile is also work like that only: requirement, plan, design, develop, release, and track and monitor. But how it is little bit different from the waterfall, because it always work in sprint. Sprint means it works into the chunks or chunks. Okay, so 15 days sprint or the 21 days sprint. So whatever we want to deliver, we have to deliver this in a 21 days. So whatever bug is coming, we can remove the bugs within 21 days and we can deliver this. So it's a small part which helps the developers a lot. And for this we are making tasks and epic means a collection of tasks, and tasks always work into the story. So we have to create one story. In one story there can be several tasks. In task there can be several subtasks. And if you want to put all of these in one thing, then you can create an epic. So this is how the agile is working. I just gave you the what I can say, very upper hand of agile development. So this is how it works. I am working in agile from last 4 years, and trust me, it helps a lot developer. I know developer always occupied, but there are very less chances of errors. This is the agile facility to all of you. This is how the Jira dashboard, or you can say different kind of dashboard looks like. Okay, they can give you some backlogs. Backlog means if something is pending from sprint 1, we can deliver it to the sprint 2 with some logical answer, but we have to prioritize the backlog. Sprint planning always works before the sprint starts, so that we can plan the hurdles, we can plan the dependency on the other teams, and we can plan accordingly. And there is a one down chart. One down chart will always show this how the health of sprint is working. In the end of sprint, we are doing retrospective to understand what we learned into the sprint, and we have to give some demo so that we can explain everything to others, what we delivered, what we are not able to deliver, why we are not able to deliver, some logical things, what are the dependencies, what goes well, what goes down. So this is the part. You can take a screenshot of it if you want. This is a simple example how agile is different from the waterfall. So this is the definitely uh, some differences between a waterfall and agile method. Some of the guys are already from the industry sector and they are now into the Delhi Technical University, so they knows that how agile and waterfall is different. If someone is not from the industry side, they can understand. They just take the screenshot and they can easily understand what is the major difference between both of them. Now my question is coming. You know everything about anything, and you can say that I will work in one industry for the 8 or 9 years, and definitely I will become a project manager or project lead. Then why MBA? You guys tell me why MBA is required. You are doing MBA. Nice. Okay, nice. Anyone else? Okay. So I got couple of answers why MBA is required, and I know that you will face this in any interview. Why MBA is required? In terms, what I understood, why MBA is required. See, better career prospects, which is already defined by your friend Jay. Widely reorganization, okay, or you can say recognition, both. So this is also required to develop a management and leadership skill into the early stage, not go for the 8 9 year experience then develop it. They will give you on the early stage. Make a successful career change. Definitely some of the guys want to change the career on an early stage, so they can do it. It will always give you some network opportunity. Yes, you can increase your LinkedIn network, and social networking always works. It's very helpful. For me, it always helpful. And salary package, yeah, it will give you the boost in terms of salary package. Definitely, if you are doing great, if you are into the good college, if you are in a good university, if you are following whatever your HOD and faculties are saying, if you are able to do this, if you are delivering your assignments on times, everything, definitely you are going to crack a very good salary package. Personality development, yes, it will enhance your personality. It will give you a boost in your confidence, in your attitude, which is very key, which is going to play a very key role in your life. Depth knowledge of business world. When you are going to uh, crack one deal of project and anything, you definitely need to know about how the business world is working. This is why MBA is required. There are so many other points are also, all are right, but according to me, this is why MBA is required. So that's it from my side. सो गाइस, गेस्ट लेक्चर डन हो चुका है. अपन आ गए अपनी वापस से ड्रेस के अंदर वापस से. अच्छा गया. मैं अभी उसको मैंने डाला भी है उसका. तो नाइस, इट वाज अ नाइस एक्सपीरियंस. सो अब अपन ऑफिस का काम वाम करते हैं, कुछ डाइट वाइट लेते हैं. सो सी यू.